nutritious foods, and on top of that, all the kids is overcrowded in the classroom. I still ask who besides us to spread the truth like Sojourner, when the youth feel like the only justice comes from towing burners. Central Intel using that propaganda to try to control us, and as these universities became more corporatized and further commercialized our already poor curricula, their bureaucratic administrations will never concede that capitalism was the biggest myth of America. All right. Sorry. That was amazing, mashallah. Can we give another round of applause, please? Now, following an act that tough is a brother we all know, Sayyid Rehan.
Aqsa. Tell him to speak into the mic some farther.
Assalamu alaikum. To be quite honest, that's pretty hard to follow, but I'm trying my best. I really didn't have a title for this. I left it untitled because, I don't know, I just didn't have time to find a title, to be honest with you. Alright. We're supposed to set examples for those younger than us. I mean, we're who they trust when situations get rough. Acts of violence and terror have become such a norm. It's no surprise as to why we see all this hate start to form. Greet each other with a smile, let it all be a buffer. We don't know how much another person has suffered. They may just want some peace in their lives because the current situation allows people to thrive. For the sake of peace, everyone continues to try. But in the name of peace, how many people have died? How we define peace is different for each person. For that same peace, we're all still searching. But in the end, they still laugh at the oppressed and celebrate with the rich and grease the mentality that made the society sick. Control all the wealth and you'll control public health. And they say we can control the hand that we're dealt. Lies being spread, not mentioned when they're exposed. They say if you're not elite, it's the path that you chose. They call it saving, I call it tyranny. The amount of bloodshed increasing considerably. Broken families blanketed in the darkness of misery as the world watches the loss of all types of chivalry. Mannerisms are gone, sort of like hearing a good song. Criticism at a high level whenever a person does wrong. You look to the media and they just spread the lies. It's as if they want more and more issues to intensify. They bash one religion without any proof in their words, misconstruing what they read. That thought alone is absurd. They ask, why do the women cover themselves when they dress? They ask, why aren't the women wearing anything less? They ask, why do the men have beards and wear those long gowns? Then they ask, why do they always seem as if they just seem to frown? One more the argument said, it leads to so many problems. Until we open our minds and hearts, we won't be able to solve them. This behavior needs to cease before more people are deceased. We'd have less issues if the amount of knowledge increased. Being real, everybody all over the dunya wants peace. Cultivating of tranquility, that thought alone is sweet. Negative connotations makes everyone stray from the truth. A united ummah would be such an incredible boost, but a united world would be even better. Moves that are peaceful, regardless of the weather. An event so placid, a time so serene, it may not be real now, but one can surely dream.
Alright, this seems to be getting better and better as we go on, mashallah. And next we have Greg Zakaria, if you could come up.
I like to wander. I walk down Kabul streets, kicking stones with my bare feet. I chase dreams around corners I can't see. I pace around the attics of my mind, chain smoking cigarettes until the sun leaves its illustrious ink over the horizon. I sit trapped in my home, imprisoned in my own home with the fear of bombs going off near, sleepless from the sound of helicopters in my ear. I read by candlelight and write by moonlight, just to hear my thoughts drop from my pen and wash down the page is sometimes the only way to know I'm still alive. I want to speak, maybe even scream, but these thoughts I must hold within, for my tongue will be cut for the price of a sin. Fedayeen soldiers brave stone-cold winters in God's hands, away from family and kin, protecting their homes and the harvests that lie within, traversing their land, breaking bread by firesides, praying their culture won't be smothered to sand like that of the Egyptians by a foreign colonizing hand. These are days of depression and despair, killing fields with bodies to declare, mothers with funerals to prepare. Yet I see God's face everywhere, especially in compassion's radiant glare. Life is hard, but we endure. Life exists here as does there, but the value of it seems to have depreciated in our avaricious market. My brothers were kidnapped by camouflage in the night, taken to the mountains, stripped down to their prepubescent hair, humiliated by a cold steel stare, and dishonored with a bullet to their back bare. My sisters were seized screaming, taken to the public square for the first women's meeting, more reminiscent of a livestock auction than the community's call for a feminist discussion. Their souls were violated by their colonizers' lust, perpetrated deeper and deeper with each thrust. Honored elders and community councils cast aside by foreign peddlers of culture and customs. New laws enforced by paramilitary pawns. I try and stay under the radar and navigate this labyrinth of landmines called life. I want to run free through fields with my father's back bright, my mother's hair tangoing tulips under the sun's soulful light, running with my siblings at my sides into the sun's purifying ink. I want to fly over mountains and swim through clouds, leaving this body in the earth's shrouds, embarking on the soul's flight to once again bathe in God's gracious light. But for now I sit trapped in this dungeon, chain smoking cigarettes until the sun leads back into the horizon. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. At this time, we're going to take a short 10-minute intermission. You guys can feel free to take seconds or step outside for a few minutes and come back. And also, if you'll notice, at the beginnings of each of the tables, there's small little donation boxes. You guys should keep in mind, events like this really aren't possible without your help, without your financial contribution. So whatever you can give does help. If you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, please help us to continue. And give whatever you have, if it's only a few cents or a few dollars. Jazakallah khair.